Hello, kids. So today we're going to read a book called Purple, Green, and Yellow by Robert Munch and Helene Desputeaux. I could have got that wrong. Gotta love these pictures. So, Bridget went to her mother and said, "I need some coloring markers. All my friends have coloring markers. They draw wonderful pictures." "Mommy, I need some coloring markers." "Oh, no," said her mother. "I've heard about those coloring markers. Kids draw on walls, draw on the floor, they draw on themselves. You can't have any coloring markers." I bet you want some coloring markers. "Well," said Bridget, "there are those new coloring markers they wash off with just water. I can't get into any trouble with coloring markers that wash off. Get me some of those." "Well," said her mother, "all right." So her mother went out and got Bridget 500 washable coloring markers. I want 500 coloring washing markers. Bridget went up to her room and drew wonderful pictures. She drew lemons that were yellower than lemons, and roses that were redder than roses, and oranges that were oranger than oranges. Her mother was amazed. She said, "Wow, my kid is an artist." But after a week, Bridget got bored of those markers. "No," said her mother. "Did I draw on the floor?" "No," said her mother. "Did I draw on myself?" "No," said her mother. "Well," said Bridget, "I didn't get into any trouble, and I need some new coloring markers that smell. They have ones that smell better than lemons, more than roses and orange, and even coloring markers that smell like anything you want. Mom, I need those coloring markers." Her mother went out and got 500 coloring markers that smelled. Then Bridget went upstairs and drew a picture. She drew lemons that smelled like lemons, roses that smelled like roses, and oranges that smelled like oranges, and cow plops that smelled like cow plops. Ooh, P-U. Her mother said, "Wow, my kid is an artist." But after a week, Bridget got bored. She said, "Mom, did I draw on the floor?" "No," said her mom. "Did I draw on the walls?" "No," said her mom. "Did I draw on myself?" "No," said her mom. "Well," said Bridget, "I need some new coloring markers. These are the best kind. Always don't come off till you're dead, and maybe even later coloring markers. Mom, I need them." So her mother went and got 500 super invincible, never come off till you're dead, and maybe even later coloring markers. Bridget took them and drew pictures for 3 weeks. She drew lemons that looked better than lemons, and roses that looked better than roses, and oranges that looked better than oranges, and sunsets that looked even better than sunsets. Then she got bored. She said, "I'm tired of drawing on the paper. Well, I'm not going to draw on the walls, and I'm not going to draw on the floor, and I'm not going to draw on myself. But everybody knows it's okay to color your fingernails. Even my mother colors her fingernails." So Bridget took a purple super duper never come off till you're dead and more later And she colored her thumbnail bright purple. And then she was so pretty, she colored all her fingernails purple, black, and yellow. And then she was so pretty, she colored her hand yellow, green, and red. And that was so pretty, she colored her face purple, green, yellow, and blue. How is she going to get this off? And that was so pretty, she colored her belly button blue. What do you guys think will happen? Can she get it off? And that was so pretty, she colored herself all sorts of colors, almost entirely all over. Then Bridget looked in the mirror and said, "What have I done? My mother is going to kill me." So she ran into the bathroom and washed her hands for half an hour. Nothing came off. Her hands still looked like mixed up rainbows. Then she had a wonderful idea. She reached way down in the bottom of the coloring markers and got a special coloring marker. It was the same color she was. She took it and colored herself all over until she looked like normal Bridget. "Right. You look really good today." Then her mother said, "It's time to wash your hands for dinner." So Bridget was afraid special color would not stick to the colors underneath. So she said, "I already washed my hands." But her mother smelt her hands and said, no soap." She took Bridget into the bathroom and washed her hands and face. All the special color came off, and Bridget looked at the mixed up rainbows. "Oh, no," said her mother. "Bridget, did you color your hands with a coloring marker that wash off?" "No." "Bridget, did you color your hands with the coloring marker that smells?" "No." "Did you use the super incredible never come off till you're dead and maybe even later marker?" "Yes." "Yikes!" yelled her mother. So she called the doctor and said, "Help, help, help, help. My daughter has coloring herself with super incredible never come off till you're dead and maybe even later markers." "Oh dear," said the doctor. "Sometimes they never come off." The doctor came in and gave Bridget a large orange pill that said, "Take this pill, wait 5 minutes, and then take a bath." So Bridget took the pill, waited 5 minutes, and jumped into the bath. Her mother stood outside the door and yelled, "Is it working? Is it working?" "Yes," said Bridget. "Everything is coming off." And Bridget was right. Everything had come off. When Bridget walked out of the bathroom, she was invisible. "Oh, no," yelled her mother. "You can't go to school if you're invisible. You can't go to university if you're invisible. You'll never get a job if you're invisible. Bridget, you wrecked your life." "Don't worry," said Bridget. She ran to her room, got a special colored marker, and colored herself entirely over until she couldn't tell the difference. In fact, she looked even better than before. Almost too good to be true. But her mother said, "Bridget, you can't go through life like that. You're just a picture. Everyone will know there's something wrong." "No, they won't," said Bridget. "Yes, they will," said her mom. "No, they won't," said Bridget. "I colored Daddy while he was taking a nap, and you haven't noticed anything yet." "Good heavens!" yelled her mother, and she ran into the living room and looked at Dad. He looked even better than before, almost too good to be true. "Doesn't he look great?" said Bridget. "I couldn't even tell the difference," said her mother. "Right," said Bridget, "and neither will he. As long as he doesn't get wet." Look at that. His face, you can see it because it's wet now. So, there is an awesome book. I hope you enjoyed as much as I enjoy reading it. Have a great day.